Hey, yo, stop the beat a minute. I got something to say. Vergil Ortiz finally admits that the second time he pulled out of the Stanionis fight, it wasn't because of rabdo. So what was it? That's what I want to explore right now in this video. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. And when I tell you I love my job, I really mean it. I love my job because I wait for these moments. You see the post, March 15th, 2022. I said, hashtag keep that same energy when black fighters like Gervonta Davis or Adrian Broner had weight issues. That's all I heard on how they were unprofessional and unprepared. Vergil Ortiz got to be more disciplined here. Hashtag ego. I said it then, and now look what the cat drug in. It says, I am told the reason Vergil pulled out of his fight, this is old, this is from last year, but I got to give you the cliff notes, was due to weight issues. Let's see what they announced, official reason, if Vergil has anything to say. So Vergil Ortiz was forced to pull out of the Stanionis fight. Right. I said, shaking my head, I wonder if it has issues to deal with making weight again. You've seen this. This is from last year, March of last year, my birthday month. Shout out to all the Pisces. Shout out to all the Aries. When I said these things, when I said, I wonder if it's weight again, people said, oh, Ego, you're being insensitive. Oh, Ego, it's because he's sick. Oh, Ego, it's because he has rhabdomyolysis. But right? Vergil Ortiz misses weight again. Wah. Now Vergil Ortiz did a brand spanking new interview as he gears up for his fight this weekend on a Golden Boy card, moving up in weight to a new division where he's campaigning at 154. And after all that, he says the second time he pulled out of the fight with Stanionis had nothing to do with rabdo. Say what?
The last time that caused you to pass out, was it like a flare-up of the rabdo, or was it something else?
So it wasn't rabdo. You know, that's a common misconception. People thought it was rabdo all over again. You're saying, oh, he's a washed fighter, he can't fight no more.
Breaking news. He just said it was not rabdo. It had nothing to do with that. That's a common misconception.
It was just a simple case of excessive heat. Or what? I overheated basically, and I was dehydrated, like severely. Yeah.
I overheated and I was dehydrated. Wow. So it's so funny to me that old media, they pick and choose their favorites and they pick and choose what they want to attack. So when it's Vergil Ortiz, there was this convenient, narrative being pushed that he had rhabdomyolysis, right? And that was the reason. They said it for the first time, because keep in mind, he pulled out twice. So they said the first time was rhabdomyolysis, but they said it for the second time also. So he had this convenient spot to land, and now he's coming and shooting that all to heck by saying it wasn't rabdo again. That's a misconception. But the reason the misconception happened is because you use rabdo as the excuse of why you missed weight the first time. And then the second time when you pulled out for Stanionis, they said you had very similar symptoms where you were passing out and you suffer from fatigue and you had to go to the hospital. And the fans came to your rescue, the media came to your rescue, and they automatically attached it to rabdo, right? In that condition, only for right before his next fight for Vergil Ortiz to admit that it had nothing to do with rabdo and he overheated and he was severely dehydrated. For more of my thoughts, stay tuned to the end of this video. Now a word from our sponsor. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We work. Now, I find it like it's bordering on parody at this point. You have certain fighters and they always have a built-in pass. Vergil Ortiz is one of those old media fighters. So it's just funny to me at this point. It's not even what they said it was. So realistically, the reality is you were supposed to fight the best fight on your resume, in my opinion, which is Stanionis, as you guys see here. And 3 times the fight was canceled. The very first time was because of Stanionis. Stanionis had a once and done emergency appendectomy, right? He had a appendicitis and they had to remove his appendix. So things happen in boxing, I get it. And that is one of the things that happened. We've not known Stanionis to be fraudulent, or we haven't known Stanionis to come up with excuses. He took the fight, something medically came up, and as a result, he had to pull out because of his appendix, right? No biggie. We give everybody fairness. We're objective. We'll give Stanionis a pass because this has never come up in his career. However, in the case of Vergil Ortiz Jr., this is a recurring problem. He keeps overheating. He keeps getting to the scale and missing weight, right? This has happened numerous times and it's been well documented. And again, it's funny to me because when it comes to a black fighter in the sport of boxing, nobody shows the same sympathy. Nobody has the same mercy when it comes to Gervonta Davis missing weight. When it comes to a guy like Adrian Broner when he's missed weight. Nobody has these convenient excuses like, oh, Adrian Broner suffered from this, Adrian Broner suffered from this. It's just guilty, guilty, guilty. But then when you have certain fighters like Golden Boy fighter Vergil Ortiz, he frequently is missing weight or having to step on the scale a second time. And people instead, it's just like almost Karen behavior, if you will, right? It's like Karen behavior in the sense of he always has a soft cushion to land on, right? Instead of being like, man, you need to do what you're doing now, which is move up in weight. You can't make this weight anymore. And for me, being the best in the business, and it's not even close, it was very apparent for me to see that he was struggling to make weight. Your body, as you mature, as a man, puberty stops probably around 21 to 25 for most men. And maybe at age 16, 17, you can make a certain weight. But when you start pushing it and when you start getting older, plus you look at Vergil Ortiz, like I could go so many different angles with this. This is what makes me the best in the business, and it's not even close. Vergil Ortiz hasn't been the most active guy either. But this is the point I'm making, the double standards. When it's a PBC fighter, you have all these people who are showing you, oh, Jamal Charlo, he hasn't fought in 800 days. And, you know, they outline all these things for certain fighters that they're against. And oftentimes it's black fighters, oftentimes it's PBC fighters. Jamal Charlo's inactivity is inexcusable. But then if I pull up Vergil Ortiz and his activity, he hasn't had great activity either. But old media doesn't talk about that. They're not bringing up the inactivity. So infrequent fighting, plus your body was rejecting making this weight, and now Vergil Ortiz has been forced out of a division because it's not good for his health. You know, he's passing out and fainting. We've seen it with Jaime Munguia. But again, when it comes to Munguia, when it comes to Ortiz, nobody makes it a big deal. It's only a big deal when Gervonta Davis is missing weight, right? Oh, how could he be so unprofessional? This, that, and the third. And that's the point I'm making. And I'm always going to outline these things and double standards on my channel. Vergil Ortiz, is about time he got his weight sorted. Golden Boy has given him high praise. At one point, Oscar was beefing with Ryan Garcia because he made a comment that Vergil Ortiz is his best prospect. Look it up, right? And that created tension. Ryan was like, release me then. If you don't respect me as a fighter, you know, let me go cut ties and let me go elsewhere, right? So the Oscar-Ryan relationship has been like on the fritz, if you will. But then Vergil Ortiz got all this praise about, like, oh, he's the GOAT. You know, it was really Jaron Boots Ennis, Vergil Ortiz, and Conor Benn. And the person that outlasted everybody is Jaron Boots Ennis. Conor Benn failed a drug test. Vergil can't make it to his fights and had to move out of the division. So the only one who's still being successful to this day from that big three is Jaron Ennis. He's making his weight and he's putting on great performances. And he hasn't had to get dejected or removed from the division. So I want you guys to pay attention to these things and how the media can contort and twist things when it comes to certain fighters like Vergil Ortiz. Again, he's always given a pass for not making weight, but let it be a black fighter and it's just the conversation shifts about how unprofessional they are. And like I said earlier in this video, the first time they said he tested for rhabdomyolysis, right? And that's why he ended up pulling out the Stanionis fight. They gave him that same pardon and clemency for the second pullout, which was the third pullout for that particular fight, but 2 as a result of Vergil Ortiz. And then now he just rips that to shreds and says, I was just dehydrated and overheating. So I at this point, when people lie to me and put out stuff like, oh, he has rhabdo, now I don't even know if he really has rhabdo. Like, did a doctor actually even confirm that he has rhabdo, or was he just at the wrong weight class and he wasn't making his weight and he was missing his weight, and as a result, you know, he just couldn't make the weight and he was like overdoing it, burning the candle at both ends and trying to stay at a division he couldn't make. Because here's another fact. I'm the best in the business and it's not even close. This fight, he moved up to 154, so we thought. This fight that he has this weekend, he's fighting a guy that no one really expects him to lose to, right? A guy that probably can't beat him, and that's this fight right here against Lawson. But here's the thing. Everyone thought the fight was going to be at 154. Come to find out, it's at a catch weight of 156, which goes to the double standards in boxing again. If the theory of Gervonta Davis fighting Devin Haney at a catch weight, if that comes up, right, you have fans in boxing who say, oh no, I hate catch weights. But they hate catch weights when it's certain people, because Golden Boy's pretty much two of their last fight cards were both at catch weights. Vergil Ortiz fight this weekend, and just before that, Ryan Garcia versus Oscar Duarte. So how is it Ryan Garcia can fight at a catch weight, Vergil Ortiz can fight at a catch weight, but the thought of Tank fighting a black fighter like Devin Haney at a catch weight, they say it's absurd. I mean, if you don't see these double standards are well and alive, I don't know what to tell you. And then again, you had, like, let's say Jermall Charlo. The man came off a 3-year layoff, and he missed weight, which was also at a catch weight. And that was on a recent card. He was supposed to fight Jose Benavidez. So a black fighter, Jermall Charlo, fighting a Mexican-American Ecuadorian, Jose Benavidez Jr., all the comments that I read were, oh, Jermall Charlo, he's fighting at a catch weight, and he's the bigger dude. Oh, Jermall Charlo, he's missing weight, which I admonished Jermall Charlo like I do with Vergil Ortiz or anyone, because I'm consistent. The problem with the boxing game is it lacks integrity and it lacks consistency in the reporting. If you miss weight, if you black, white, purple, Mexican, Chinese, Rican, I don't care. I report about it. You know, if it's major news, I report about it. I don't care about your color of your skin or your creed. I consistently report the news. But the flaw in the game, the fluke in the game, is that not everyone's doing that. When it's Jermall Charlo, it gets reported. Everybody knows that a black fighter missed their weight, like Jermall Charlo versus Benavidez. Not everybody knows that Vergil Ortiz has missed several weights. Not everyone knows. Let me know in the comments section. Just put the word catch weight. If you did not know that Vergil Ortiz's fight that is happening against Lawson this weekend, if you did not know it was at a catch weight, type the word catch weight in the comments section, because I guarantee you, if it weren't for me putting this out on my large platform, many people wouldn't even know that. And that's the flaw in the game. Best in the business, checkmate.